Right, it's a corruption-a-thon today. Okay, it's all corruption all the time. We're talking about the news that the major media companies don't want you to hear. The Twitters, the Facebooks, the Googles. They are squelching real news. Okay, the New York Post put out real, verified, sourced, not anonymous sourced news. Okay, and now, thankfully, we know the FBI's had this hard drive for 9 months. They've done Zippo with it. Okay, so Christopher Wray, the Trump's been really critical of him, the head of the FBI. He's obviously part of the deep state because he's had this stuff for 9 months. We haven't heard a damn thing about it. Okay, and now the U.S. Senate majority controls all the committees there, and the Senate Intelligence Committee, it appears, is going to be taking up this investigation forthwith, because the people of America need to know if the presidential candidate has been taking bribes for the last 47 freaking years. Check this out.
Homeland Security Committee is now investigating a hard drive brought forward by a whistleblower. An attorney for Rudy Giuliani tells Fox News a computer repairman came forward with a laptop and hard drive that he says belonged to Hunter Biden. He claims that it was dropped off at his shop and never picked up. Fox is told it had an estimated 40,000 emails, 1,000 text messages, and salacious photos and videos of the former vice president's son. Now, Senate investigators are working with the whistleblower to confirm the information. He is legally blind, uses a monocle to do his job, and cannot confirm it was Hunter who dropped off the laptop.
I saw stuff, and I was concerned. I was concerned that somebody might want to come looking for this stuff eventually, and I wanted it out of my shop.
And the stuff were images, or the stuff was text, emails?
A little bit of both.
Fox News has obtained an April 17, 2015 email. A source tells Fox it came from the computer in question. It is from Vadim Pazarsky, a senior official from the Ukrainian energy firm Burisma. He thanks Hunter Biden for inviting him to Washington and, quote, giving an opportunity to meet your father, and spent some time together when Joe Biden was vice president.
Oh, Hunter, thank you very much, my friend, for letting me meet your father, giving me this wonderful opportunity. Okay, I don't know what accent that was, actually. It wasn't Ukrainian, but there is an email there. And you heard from the shop owner of the Mac shop, okay? The Mac shop owner is blind. So get this. The FBI has this hard drive for 9 months. And it took a blind guy to figure out that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden are involved in a conspiracy. I mean, you know, there's the old saying, well, you'd have to be blind to not see that, okay? And even the blind guy can see it. Figure that out, okay? This guy had to read these emails probably in Braille, and he figured it out. Okay, dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving an opportunity to meet your father, and spent some time together. So, you know, Team Biden is saying that, this is false news, and he was talking about that. It might happen. It says, thank you for giving an opportunity to meet your father and spent some time together. So, you know, people from other countries, their English and grammar may not be perfect, but they spent some time together. Thank you for the opportunity to spend some time together. Okay? So Joe Biden has said an infinite amount of times that he had no dealings, knew nothing about Hunter's outside of the U.S. businesses. And here's an email thanking Hunter for the opportunity to spend some time with your father. Okay? And now we know from some of the stuff we showed earlier that there is an email saying that let's put 10% ownership of this new corruption company on the side. Let H hold it, H being Hunter, okay? And we'll put that on the side for the big guy. Okay, so the big guy, like, let me give you some, here's that email again. 10%, you see on the left, they're breaking down the percentages of equity ownership. Hunter 20, James Biden lower down there 10, and 10 held by H, Hunter, for the big guy. Okay, and the question mark is, will the big guy accept 10? Let's see if they'll go for 10. And if you do the math, simple, 20 to Hunter, 10 to James, 10 to the big guy, the Bidens own 40% of the equity in this company that's siphoned off dollars from foreign countries that want to get access to the U.S. Not that hard, okay? And again, I want to go back to the big guy, okay? We should make a lower third, Nico, that says Joe Biden. Joe quotes big guy Biden, because he's the big guy. We know now he's the big guy, okay? And the big guys cut in on everything, baby. Don't think about anything other than that. And, you know, there's old, like, mafia lore out there. You know, in the mafia, when they want to avoid conversation and talking because they're avoiding wiretaps or surveillance or all this other stuff, they come up with, like, signals and code words. And one big mobster, they call him the Odd Father, okay? Vincent the Chin Gigante, who used to walk around, if you remember, in a robe and a hat and act like he was, you know, just all crazy, but he was really, you know, allegedly one of the masterminds. He went to jail for it. But you know, there's some, you know, lore out there, some, you know, urban legend that people were not allowed to say his name. And when they say, well, what are you talking about? They would say, well, I got to go talk to this guy. Like this, right? Okay, the reference was to the chin area because his name was Vincent the Chin Gigante. So they would say, we got to see what he says, you know? So they never were allowed to say his name. And now we know that, you know, for the deceased Vincent the Chin, this was the signal. And for the Biden crime family, Joe Biden, the boss, was the big guy. Don't put the big guy's name in anything, you know what I'm saying? Well, we got to go up here to the big guy. That's what they would do in a verbal conversation. But anyway, now, I am telling you right now, stay tuned for the next couple weeks because I have some seriously inside information. No, not on the stock market. Don't call the SEC on me. On what's happening with this hard drive. And it's being downloaded in real time. There's literally thousands, 40,000 emails, okay? The bigger thing is going to be China. And you're going to see that, you know, the $1 million that Hunter was getting paid for this board or the $850,000 for that board is chump change, peanuts, okay? And Donald Trump must already know what's coming out because check out what he said at his rally.
You know, when a Democrat voter here in Iowa asked Joe last year, you remember, if his son raked in money in exchange for providing access, Joe called that man a damn liar. You're a damn liar. Kid's making millions of dollars. He had nothing. He didn't have a job. Thrown out of the military, sadly, but thrown out of the military. And he knew nothing about energy. He knew nothing about investments. Knew nothing about China. How about he walked away $1.5 billion to manage for China? They don't do that with the most brilliant people on Wall Street. Vice President Biden, you owe the people of America an apology because it turns out you are a corrupt politician, okay? Joe Biden must immediately release all emails, meetings, phone calls, transcripts, and records related to his involvement in his family's business dealings, influence peddlings around the world, including China and including Russia.
Trump's hitting the nail on the head. You know he knows what's going on, that's for sure. And I think it's true. I mean, let me just point this out to you, okay? A few weeks ago, the New York Times posted this big expose from an anonymous source that they got their hands on Donald Trump's tax returns. Now, you know, for years, they want his tax returns. So now the New York Times, through an anonymous source, says they got his tax returns, okay? And they print this big, large article based on an anonymous source that they got the tax returns. It spread everywhere. It was lighting up Twitter, okay? This is weeks ago, okay? None of the Silicon Valley companies, Facebook, YouTube, Google, Twitter, any of them, said, wait, that's an anonymous source. We don't want to spread that around. No one did. They spread it like wildfire. Okay? Now, the New York Post comes out with a source document with hard evidence, and Facebook and Twitter are squelching it. So you figure it out. Finally, and there's a tweet from Alex Thompson. Wow, Twitter going even further than Facebook, no longer letting people tweet the story. This is what pops up if you try. Our partner is being potentially harmful. It's not harmful. It's truth. Harmful is what Joe Biden will do to this country if he wins. But we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more Hunter and Joe, big guy, Biden after this.